This is a spiritual Balboa. How you doing? How y'all guys doing today, ladies and men and ladies and gentlemen, whatever you want to say? I'd like to talk about something that's been on my mind. It's really been. I have a question about, and it's good to explore how the information is sought after and opposed than the information itself, because you can think of it always and the process more important than the outcome. The process is way more than better and more beneficial. Knowing how you're going to process the information is more beneficial than the actual information itself. You don't know how to process information, you're not going to get the answer. The clear crystal bottled distilled water, the sweet taste of the distilled water rather than the unclear murky water. If you get the allegory, and so it's just that's one way to look at it. And another thing, you know, people don't know how to process information. They get a lot. They process a lot more information. So that being said, in school, like I never got school because when I processed information my own way, I got to the outcome. But when I listened to their method, it never really necessarily worked. And see, I like giving information because it took so hard for me to give it. I mean, get it, I acquire it, and I wasted a lot of time on certain subjects that weren't even real and wasn't worth wasting time on. And reason why I try to give information is to keep people from going the same thing I've been through, to acquire the information. They say in Louisiana they call it a bought lesson. You never want a bought lesson. I get a lot of bought lessons, but you never want a bought lesson. Somebody gives you information, that listen to it. They might be right. You might not always be right. No matter if you're 80 or you're 30 or you're 60 or you're 20, you might not always be right. Um, but and thinking about and visualizing this, I had a thought like maybe I shouldn't visualize it. Maybe I should think about it and do it. But then I was like, visualizing is thinking about the outcome you want and opposed the way the outcome is. And to get the outcome you want, you must see how the other person thinks of the outcome itself and work with that. Think of the way things and the way things, consider the way things are and opposed to the way you want them to be. And then work with that instead of just pushing your thoughts and ideals upon somebody and just thinking they will just accept it, eat the food you give. But no, it's much more complicated than that. See the way they think, go by the situation itself, and work upon what's there. Nobody likes to do that. Everybody wants people to see it their way, but nobody wants to go on what's there in the person's mind first. You can't shoot and ask questions later. You can't make the fire and then add the wood afterwards. You can't make the fire and add the wood afterwards. I've heard some guys say on YouTube, but it makes sense. Everybody wants to die, but everybody wants to go to heaven. Well, that's just thanks for listening. This is Spiritual Balboa. I'm out.